Hello everyone, welcome to the intuitive card reading for, what week are we on? January 6th through 12th. How's everybody doing? How is everybody's new year? Do you guys feel that fresh energy? If you haven't already, please go ahead and, oh gosh, this table is dirty. I definitely need to throw this tablecloth in the wash this week. I hope everybody had a good New Year's, and I hope you're feeling the energy. I know for me, I could feel a slight change, okay? Give it some time. You'll start feeling the energy of the 9, which is the numerology year that we're in. We're in the 9 universal year. And let's see what the first full week of January has in store for us. So let's go, guys. I'm using 3 decks this time. No new decks, nothing that you guys haven't seen before, shuffled obviously, and they're in the order that feels intuitive to me. Please like this video, please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies of the week. And what else I have to tell you guys? Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed. That would be great. And then comments down below. All I ask is you be kind. You can put comments down there, you can put feedback, you can put questions. And of course, your experiences and how this reading resonates with you would be fabulous. Okay, what do we need, guys? We need a change in the wind. Look at that. We need things to change. So this is already kind of telling me that maybe some of you guys are not necessarily feeling it. You're not necessarily feeling any change in the energy, even though the change in the wind is usually more big type change. So maybe if we're feeling it more in a subtle way, we need to be feeling it in a bigger way. And so we need to really need to feel that change. Because it's coming underneath, this is telling me that you guys have to create this change in some way, shape, or form. So in a way, it's kind of saying to take action. Okay, I'm very interested to see what's under action needed there. But this is basically saying if we need a bigger change than what the energy is naturally, then we need to make that change. So go ahead and change whatever's not working in your life. Whatever's making you stir crazy is coming up, like a feeling of just like feeling stagnant and you want things to move forward. This is saying that you have to make them move forward on your own. Let's actually see what action needed says. Upside down beggar, dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. Okay, so this is an indication of why things aren't maybe necessarily changing on your end, because beggar in the shadow is basically saying that we're really depending on others. We are not going out. We're not understanding that we can create our own reality. Like there are some things in life that we don't have control over, but there are things that we do have control over. And basically this is saying that there are some things that you can change in your life. Let me flatten this out a little bit more, that you do have control over. Okay. So this is saying that we need to take the reins and create our own reality and create that change and not necessarily wait for other things to happen for us. Could this potentially be in the realm of making money, job, career, that kind of thing? Again, I would love to see what's in the money and finances and career section down here, but I'm getting a feeling intuitively that it might have something to do with that, because beggar usually means we're begging for resources, we're begging for things. It could be material, and that usually kind of correlates to career. Not always, but that's what I feel like it's leaning towards. So maybe we need to do something that really moves things forward in that area, right? And again, beggar is more so waiting on other people to kind of, I don't want to say giving handouts, but provide for you when you can provide for yourself, because there is something here Spirit is saying that you do have control over, that you can change. Okay, so that's very interesting. All right, issue. What do we have an issue with? Shift your perception. Okay, so we're not seeing things we're only seeing things one way. We're not necessarily seeing things a different way. And maybe that might be part of why we're not necessarily taking action, because we don't see how we can do things in a different way. We don't see another way that we can get what we actually want. So we're having issues here. This tells me it'll clear up by the end of the week. I'm definitely getting intuitive feelings about that, but I definitely do feel like this stubbornness, this energy of stubbornness is definitely coming up. And I haven't gotten this from us in a while, but it just feels like we are like a stuck in your ways kind of stubbornness that's kind of coming out here with this air guardian, where it's saying that and I almost want to say because you guys are smart, you guys are self-aware, you guys actually see a lot of different perspectives. It's like it's almost like you're refusing not to. That's where the stubborn energy is coming from. That's where it feels like you're like stuck in your ways, and you're almost, may I say, lazy. Like there's this lazy energy. And again, I'm not, Spirit's not trying to put you down or anything like that. And I'm not trying to put you down. It's saying like, there's a reason other than, because I know you're self-aware. I know you have the ability to do so. You're smart, you're resourceful. You're just not necessarily wanting to see things differently for, X, Y, or Z. Please don't take offense to that, to the L word, to lazy. Guys, I try to interpret the energy as best I can, so things just fly out of my mouth. But yeah, so it definitely does feel like there's another way of doing things, but we don't necessarily see what that is at the moment. But I definitely do feel like it clears up by the end of the week, so it's temporary. All right, challenge by the book. Okay, so this is about following. There's something going on here where we might have issues following instructions, following the rules, abiding by the rules, abiding by the law, doing things the way that other people are saying. So it's almost like I'm very curious to see if maybe the rebel archetype comes out in the archetype card archetype deck that we're using. But it definitely does feel like we want to rebel in a way where we don't necessarily, accompany with that stubborn energy that's coming through over here, where we're not necessarily wanting to do things the way that they've been done. Or the way that they're supposed to be done. Now, this is not a bad or a good thing. You might not want to be doing things the way that they've always been done because you know a better and easier and more efficient way. And maybe when it comes to work, for example, you might be saving the company money, okay, by doing it by your way, by doing it the way that you find it to be the most efficient and more financially lucrative. I just woke up from a nap, guys, so and brain issues, so if I'm not getting these words out, that's why. But and that's a good thing. Like, those are really positive qualities, saving the company money, saving them labor costs, things like that. But it goes against the rules in some type of way. Even when it comes to law, okay, guys? Look, I'm not telling anybody to break the law. Breaking the law is cool, but sometimes the laws are kind of crazy, and they're not necessarily, I can think of like a few things down south, not to, make this political or anything, that I think would not necessarily be, quote unquote, moral, so, yeah, don't mean to get political, but basically what I'm trying to say, yes, we want you to, we should all be law-abiding citizens, but sometimes it's hard, okay? Sometimes it's hard to, follow rules, especially when we don't agree with those rules. And that's what this is saying here, is that we might not agree with things that will bring, really bring our rebel energy out, and really, really, really hard to keep ourselves in line. So again, not a bad thing, not a good thing. It's just a thing, okay? And that's just the energy that's kind of coming through. So do the best you can to navigate that situation. But I definitely see some of you guys out there wanting to break the rules, veering outside of what you're supposed to be doing, quote unquote, supposed to be doing, right? Okay, what do we have for change? What's actually going to change? Since we really want massive change, what's actually going to change this week, and what are we going to be seeing? Okay, so we have victim in the light. Perfect. Okay, so prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. Great. You guys know I find this word controversial, but it's in the light, so it's not that controversial here. We are taking our power back. We're saying, hey, I can create my own reality. What I was saying right here. Okay, so this tells me, guys, something... I know I just read these first 4 cards and they're like, I feel like Spirit is jumping down my throat and cornering me and, making me feel bad or whatever. This here is telling me that along with, the stubborn energy kind of letting up, so does that victim mentality, okay, in the proper way, the way that I like it to be used. I like that term to be used, meaning that there are things that we can control and we can create our own reality, and we can take our power back by doing X, Y, and Z. So you definitely want massive change, but you maybe feel like when we have that beggar in the shadow, you feel like you're relying on other people or other circumstances to change around you when you can change yourself. Now we have that victim upright in the light, basically saying, no, by the end of the week, it's going to change. At least that energy is going to change at least a little bit. Okay, and so we're going to kind of move into more of that. I am not the victim. I'm the creator of my own reality, and I can do this, and I can make the necessary changes that I can with the things I can control, and we love that. And I love that for you guys. Okay, so what do we got going on? What do we focus on? Fire Guardian, ignite your passions. Amazing, pretty straight to the point. Focus on what we are passionate about. Start doing, wouldn't be a bad thing to pick up hobbies. Or just do things that really light us up. And we really need that. We need to focus on that this week. And that could really help us go into that mindset of creating our own reality, because we go in the direction of what makes us feel alive. And that can make us feel powerful, and that can make us feel like we're in control. So definitely go in that direction. Reflect. Never-ending story. Okay, so this is always about cyclical behavior. This could be about patterns, okay? And I always see it as more of the negative, because we have the fairy, putting her head in her hand saying, oh, not again, right? So it's not always, the positive patterns. I always kind of interpret it more as the negative, and it feels negative. So basically this is saying, how do we not repeat patterns? If you journal per week, this is a good journal prompt. How do you not repeat patterns? Especially, this is the first full week of a new year. How are we not going to make it exactly the same as the last year, the year before that? So this could be looking at habits. This could be looking at routines, and this could be, and we got a lot of those messages in the last few months leading up to this, basically saying that we really do need to be having routines, having better habits, having more structure and that kind of thing. So this is saying, this wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of reflect on it and maybe make a plan so you don't fall back into those patterns, okay? All right, what do we have responsibility-wise? We have athlete. Yes, I love when we get this card. Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. This is always amazing, especially coming off of that never-ending story, because it's saying that you do have the willpower. You do have the stamina. You do have the dedication. You can go the distance. You do have that discipline. You have all of that stuff to get you to the gold, right? Because the athlete is going for the gold medal at all times. They're pushing themselves beyond their limits. Okay, and that's your responsibility, is to make sure that you do that. Okay, don't exhaust yourself to the point of collapse. Okay, that's not what Spirit is saying here, but it's saying push your boundaries. Maybe boundaries isn't the right word. Push your limitations, your perceived limitations, I should say. Okay, and that's your responsibilities this week. So if you feel like you can't do something, sometimes when I see athlete, I think more so about like long distance running. The person doesn't give up like a half mile before the end of the race after a marathon. It just wouldn't make sense. Obviously, your health always comes first. I'm the first person to say that. But think about doing that last sprint, right, to the finish line. That's what I think about when I think about athlete archetype. So basically it's saying, what are your responsibilities? What were you supposed to finish? Maybe it was your responsibility to finish that race. Maybe it's your responsibility to finish something in your life. And you have to give yourself that last push to get there. Okay, so that's your responsibility, is to do that. So whatever you're trying to finish or complete, tap into your stamina, tap into your willpower. And again, this is the natural energies of the week. So I definitely do feel like this is something that will come naturally to you, and you'll kind of get like that, what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes people call it like a second wind in a way. Like you might get a second wind to do that, to complete your responsibilities. So awesome. Good job, guys. Okay, so I'm saying good job because I know you guys are going to do it. All right, money, finances, and career. We have medicine guardian and be open to healing information. Okay, so this is being open to information that could help you. So it's under money, finances, and career. So this is great. So this has something to do with be open to someone helping you. Money, finances, and career. Be open to somebody passing along information that could help you. Tips. Listen to what's kind of going on around in the office, basically, if you work in an office. And if somebody says, the manager is really looking for people to pick up extra shifts on the weekend to get promoted or whatever. Like there's some kind of piece of information that could be helpful for you in getting ahead. Okay, that's what this is basically saying. And so obviously if you want to do that, then, Spirit is suggesting that you kind of go off of, use your intuition, obviously, but kind of go off the different things that you hear or that are presented to you that could help you get ahead in money, finances, and career. Somebody told you about a really good investing company, this week. Write down the name and look into it, because again, Spirit is saying some kind of information is coming to you that could really be positive for money, finances, and career. So that's awesome. And by the way, guys, you see all the green? That's amazing for the money, finances, and career. So, and again, I was wondering what came out here. That's obviously, this is a really positive card for that. And like I said, I felt up here could be something a little bit more so to do with career and finances and that kind of thing. Still applies, I would say. And so if you put those two and two together, by acting on the information that you're getting here with the Medicine Guardian, could be you standing in your power and making things happen for you if you act on it, if that makes sense. So if you put those two energies together here. Okay, surprise, building blocks. Okay, so you're building something, so you're creating something, so you're building upon something too, could be where this is. So the fact that it's under surprise, it could be something that maybe you're not necessarily planned to do, that was in your schedule, or maybe something is happening way before you were even planning to do something. What is a good example for this? What's a good example off the top of my head? Okay, maybe you were, you made a big business plan in December for a business that you wanted to start, and you weren't going to start it until May, and you were very detailed with your basic business plan, and an opportunity happened this January, and you're changing the plans up a bit, and you're being a little bit why do I want to say whimsical, like on the fly, starting it out. Like maybe you wanted to open like a brick and mortar store, and the perfect space opened up for lease in January, maybe this first week, or maybe you hear that it is. And you're saying, well, I wasn't planning on opening until the summer, or even looking for spaces until the summer, but this week, the perfect ideal space opened up, and that makes me feel like I need to look at it. And it wasn't in my plans, but it's part of, building the business that I want. So something like that could happen as far as surprise goes in the building blocks. No harm in looking at it, right? And so definitely Spirit is saying, look out for things like that. So go look at the property, go look at the storefront. Okay, friends, upside down monk nun, negative judgment of the physical world, excess pi ID. Okay, so this is very interesting, a little bit more specific than usual. There's something coming up here around judging people for their material things, in their life, or being more on the surface, or being more shallow than usual. So this feels like in our friend group, we might be a little bit judgmental towards people, or they could be judgmental towards us. That definitely, could go both ways here with the monk nun. Somebody might feel jealous of your material gains, or somebody might be judging you for being a little bit more materialistic. And again, materialistic isn't bad. Like, I swear, guys, everything has a shadow and a light. Yes, could we be too focused on material things? For sure. But it's not a bad thing to have nice things and like more on the surface things, and like nice dinners and jewelry and things like. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? And that's what this is saying here. But it does feel like we're putting the judgment on it, right? Whether it's in the shadow or the light, right? It's basically saying like we might be judging people for maybe they are spending all of their money on jewelry and physical things, and you personally just don't think it's right, or maybe they owe you money, or which to me is justified. That's always like a plot line of some TV show, right, where somebody lets somebody borrow money, and then they see them like spending a lot of money. Anyway, And then there's always like some mix up or whatever. But anyway, I digress. But there's something here where we're judging people based on something. Maybe your friend is too much into their appearance, and they're becoming so much of a gym rat, and they're so obsessed with their looks, and it kind of starts getting out of hand this week, and you have to have a conversation about it or something here. So there's something here judging somebody in your friend group for more physical, material things kind of going on in their lives, and again could also be somebody judging you. So it could come the other way as well. Okay, let's see. We've got romantic connection. We have hold the space. Okay, so this is holding. That's such a nice thing to get for romantic connection. So basically, it's just like holding the space to me is allowing people to express themselves, allowing people to emote, allowing people to be who they are. And it's such a beautiful thing for coming through in our romantic connection slot here. So if you're single and dating, this is such a great week to meet somebody that may do that for you, may hold the space properly for you. So you find somebody that has this beautiful skill. Honestly, it's an emotional intelligence skill, in my opinion. So you might meet somebody like that, or you find yourself being more so like that in your dating life this week, or find people that's easier to connect in that way to be able to hold the space for each other, or whatever. So I love that. So this is really great for more, all of those things create more closer connections, closer bonds, intimacy, and all of that good stuff. So I see nothing but good here for romantic connections, which is great. Important slot here. We have flexible. I don't know why I was saying connection, which is probably from there. Okay, important to be flexible. We've been getting messages like this for a really long time. Flexible, adaptability, be resourceful, all of that stuff. So just continue to do that, and it's important to be flexible with something this week. So maybe an appointment gets switched around that you've had for a really long time. So it's important to be flexible because it's important that you go to that appointment, whatever it actually is. So be flexible. Okay, health and wellness. Father. Okay, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Okay, I love this. I think we had it upside down in either the last month. I did a lot of readings in the last week or so. I think it was the monthly or the weekly, but here it is again. And this time in a positive. This one's in the light. It's not in the shadow. And it says talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Yeah, perfect. So this is about being a masculine figure as a leader within like a unit. So it's under health and wellness. Okay, so this could be, so when we say masculine, we really mean doing, right? We mean the yang energy. So that's really like the doing. So we're getting something done. There's more action energy here, which is great because it's kind of like we started out with some action energy saying, hey, we need to change things. So I did mention that that up here, it might have something to do with career, but also might have to do with a health issue that you're dealing with, okay? So there's more clarity here with that. Because basically this is saying that we're being the leader, we're doing something, we're taking charge of our health and our wellness journey. Again, whether it's spiritual, mental, physical, whatever it actually is, we're taking charge and we're being the leader. We're doing something about it. And not only are we doing something about it for us, this is usually, again, in a family unit, a tribal unit, a group, a community of some kind. So we're the leader of this. So not only are we doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for other people. It's almost like other people are counting on us to do it. Okay, so very interesting stuff. This is the way that I'm going to apply it to me. You guys know I always give an example. Sorry to bring this up all the time, but as you know, I'm going through a chronic illness journey, and this could mean that I've constantly been doing something about it, but I lead the way in some way, shape, or form. Maybe I go into one of the many chronic illness groups I'm in on Facebook, and I talk about what's been working for me, and that's a community that I'm helping by telling them what has happened to me, right? That's an example of being like in the father archetype. And again, you can be in a male body, a female body, identify as non-binary. It does not freaking matter because everybody has both these yin and the yang. This is talking about yang. So the yang part of me would go in and be the leader and say, hey, I did X, Y, and Z, and this really, really helped with my histamine issues or whatever. And I could help other people by doing that. So that's what it's saying. It's like other people are kind of, you know, because, you know, maybe their doctors aren't helping them, or everything that they've tried hasn't helped them. And so basically this is saying, hey, I'm going to be the leader. I'm doing something about it. I'm going into my group and I'm helping this family unit heal by telling them what has helped healed me. Okay. And so that's part of being positive, positive guiding light within a tribal unit for sure. So that is my example. Sorry to always bring it up. I don't have much else going on in my life besides that. So it's always an example. And it did come up in health and wellness. So apply that as you see fit. This is a reading for the collective, so it's going to look differently for everyone. But please put down below how it may, you know, manifest for you, how it manifests for you in your life. Yeah, love to read that. Okay, and then overall outcome, we have arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. Okay, so this is really about protecting your energy, not overextending yourself, not necessarily letting people drain your energy, not feeling overstimulated all the time, all of that good stuff. So protect your energy with everything basically that's going on this week. There's actually really not too much more I can say here, but guys, I like this week. It feels like a lot of good things are going on, and it definitely does feel like it's going to be a good week. Again, please check out the monthly reading for January 2025 and the yearly reading. The yearly reading is one that surprised me the most, so definitely go ahead and check that one out. And guys, all I want to say is thank you so much. Let's make this a wonderful 2025, and I really hope I grow this channel as much as I possibly can, and I get better with the aesthetics, and get better at the content. I want to do more readings. I want to do more specialized readings. That's on my list for this year. As I get better, the better these readings get. So send me lots of love and light and healing. I know you guys have been out there supporting me, and I'm so grateful for you. And I hope this channel grows, and I hope I can continue to be helpful as the year goes on. So happy New Year again, and I'll see you guys in the next week. Bye.